What's up, everyone, and welcome down to another episode of Zetro's Toxic Vault. Alongside myself, I have my partner in crime here, Mr. Walter Morgan.
It's smoky today.
It's because I'm getting high. Was Red Rum treating you today when you walked down the shit?
He's good. He's good.
I think because I've been smoking so much good green bud. You know, it's like harvest season right now, so everybody's got the good bud out. So,
and we've had those fires and they've calmed down.
And now that you do have my P.O. box here, you can send me some of that if you're growing it anywhere. I will highly accept it. So, although you don't need to put it in reverse.
And you catch them on stage too. You ever get those
joints? Oh, all the time.
All the time.
And people know that I smoke weed, so please continue doing that stuff. Throw me your weed. I love that. So anyway, me and Walt are going to do a movie review today. We do movie reviews, whether you guys like them or not. We do like to do it. And so a couple of good ones came out this weekend, but we went, this is a big one for us, as if you're a fan of The Shining, then this is a must-see, I say, for fans of The Shining.
I thought you were throwing me a dog, and then I'm 2
for 2 if this
how
weekend.
Good it was.
And I'll have to say this, it is, let's just take a look at at a clip of this.
When I was a kid, there was a place. A dark place. They closed it down and let it rot. But the things that lived there...
Hello, Danny.
They come back.
Not many ride the bus this far north. You're running away from something?
I'm running away from myself, I guess.
Hi. You can hear me. You're magic. Like me.
I don't know about magic. I always called it The Shining. The world is a hungry place. A dangerous place.
These people, they hurt people like us.
These empty devils, they'll eat what shines. And they've noticed that little girl.
Well, hi there.
Get out of my head! Get out!
I haven't felt power like that in so long.
They're coming. Where are we going?
There's a place. You sure you want to do this?
I'm ready.
Yes, you run, dear. And then I will find you, and you will scream for years.
Come and play with us forever and ever.
And you know what, Walt? I don't even think that clip does this movie any justice at all.
No.
I don't. I mean, I'll say this: they really filled in the gaps quite well, and for a long movie, it's like 2 hours and 38 minutes or something like that.
233.
233.
Rated R, which is always great when you get a horror thriller like this, right?
You know they can. There's no boundaries. There's no boundaries, and I just. The cinematography, everything about this movie.
I think the subject matter of makes it art. You know, when you got
the
children
very
being
really
abducted.
new, cool twist to the story. So everybody who's seen The Shining before knows that The Shining is this kind of magical thing that each one of these people possessed. Obviously, our character here, Danny, he possesses it, and certain people through the movie have possessed it.
And Danny was the kid on the tricycle, Jack Nicholson's kid
right,
in
Jack,
the
from
movie.
the first one.
So this is a grown-up version of him.
Now he's grown up, right, and he carries it. But he
carries his own demons too, right?
He does carry his own demons, which it seems like he kind of captures and handles, and that helps the story go along, but we won't give you that away. But there's a new group of characters that are in the movie that seem to find people like himself, and they're like kind of like an energy vampire. They
and they're called the True Knot.
The True Knot, and they suck.
A group.
Yeah, they suck
of,
the life of you.
Quasi immortals, a cult kind of like a group that travel in search of substance, which is the fear and the pain of torture. And they feed off that.
Yeah. That's kind of.
And they're kind of more kind of like an energy vampire, like you said. It's a modern day kind of trip.
But they have to have this energy off of these certain types of people
as a group.
Well, all of them,
they need
even as individuals,
right.
And some of them, I mean, sometimes they'll find one and they may turn them into a part of the group. But
for their skill, because everybody has a different skill. There's pushers and there's lookers. Very cool.
They all had cool names too. Like the head one was called Rose the Hat. And
right,
what was her name,
was
Walter?
amazing. Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible. A lot of those. Movies, huh? She was captivating in many ways, right, Steve?
Very much so. I concur, Walt. Without getting any detail into that, she was captivating.
Yeah, and then also to say that we have Ian McGregor from Shallow Grave, Trainspotting, Star Wars, Obi-Wan.
Sure,
he's a great actor in itself, and he played a crucial part in this.
I think he did the role justice as Danny Torrance, as an older Danny from experiencing what he experienced at the lodge that year, which is 40 years prior. And there's actually a couple of scenes where there's these Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall lookalikes that did a really amazing job in it, I thought. So
yeah, like Abra Stone, played by Kalea Curran.
She was the main kind of shining person.
She was the biggest shine that they'd ever seen from the group, the True Knot. They wanted to capture.
Again, this is going to sound like gibberish to you. Till you go see this, I think, to me,
I like what they said. They drink your fear and they eat your pain.
Yes,
that a great quote.
Yes,
and we know
the kills were graphic too. I mean, the kills were kind of ruthless.
They were, and more than you expect. And I think that's what made it really suspenseful and kind of shocking. So that's what really horror's all about, really. And this has a lot of that, and the setup and the way it was filmed. I thought it was a great movie. Man, I was expecting so little, and I got so much from this movie.
Yeah, I wasn't a point where I told you sometimes I look down at my phone to see, oh Christ, how long is this thing going?
Yeah, how long we go and what time is
but
it?
I didn't find myself doing that in this one. I felt that it carried itself quite well, even for 2 hours and 33 minutes. It was a long movie, but so many pieces of the story and the holes that they did patch and kind of brought closure to a lot of things. And I love when a story brings closure to things and they do it right. You know what I mean? And I just...
Stephen King, it's this story. Like I said, I was telling you earlier, this almost could have been another story, but it's tied into The Shining. So you have both of that kind of thing. But it was a great premise and a great hunt. It was I loved it.
Which is cool is I watched The Shining recently. Actually, I was stuck on an airplane for 12 and a half hours and I had nothing better to do but watch movies. So I watched The Shining and I really concentrated on the story and what was going on there and the characters. So I had just seen it recently. And
probably the best movie from one of Stephen King's books, right?
I'd have to say from that era especially. I'm a big Silver Bullet fan too. I always loved Silver Bullet.
That was a smaller story of his, but yeah, I get you.
But
I like that too.
But The Shining was to me a very frightful premise itself. You know what I mean?
I know you liked Snake Bite Andy, the girl that was a pusher.
Yeah,
and that's an interesting. All the names: Rose the Hat, Snake Bite Andy,
my favorite. Rose
Barry the Chunk, Grandpa Flick. I mean, Crow Daddy. They had some great names, great characters.
They did. It's a good go get a bucket of popcorn movie and sit there and on a date, and hopefully she will shiver up to you because there's some really cool, scary, suspenseful parts when they're running through the maze again. In the snow, it's really suspenseful. So there's a lot of things I feel that they captured from the first movie that you didn't go, oh, really? They're going to try to do this now? I didn't feel
right.
that.
It was totally a story within the story, and it brings out what The Shining is more of. Right? There's people that shine more than others, and I like how they continue it. And it was a hit for me. And it's it's a long movie, but a must see. And if you like Stephen King, or you just like a horror thriller, this is a good one.
Yep.
I saw it in the IMAX, and the sound was thundering. Was the sound good for you too?
Great.
It was like
Sounds great. That's what I go for. I love
and the
that.
CGI, the special effects in it,
Yeah.
very cool. And like you said, it's like nothing like a little blood and horror done well. And it's hard to find these good movies in horror. I said he sent me to 8.
I love he send me. I
sent me
keep
to 8,
getting this.
but
he
now
sends
this is
me.
the gem.
It's like on the
I was
show
looking for.
we do movie reviews.
That's right.
And I talk about the movies that we're going to review, and it's he sends me.
Right.
I like. How do I send you? I know how
We
I
know
send
who it
him.
is. The
Send
Grand
me. It's my
Poobah.
fault. It's
the
okay.
Grand Poobah.
Hey, you know what? And you know what? How about honestly, fuck you. And yes,
Okay.
I do pick all the movies, and I don't care. Because yes, it's my fucking show, and I pick the movies,
And I go because you tell me.
and you'll
But-
continue to go. You bought a Regal pass for
Oh,
any
I
of
love
you
it.
people that live in the United States. If you go to Regal Cinemas, $23.99 a month, and there's your plug right there. And
you get all the movies. You can see them
all
twice
the movies
for
You-
free.
First night, it doesn't matter.
10% off popcorn
concessions.
and
Yeah.
concessions.
And they're constantly sending me shit to like
You
download
can buy
and
movie
stuff.
stuff,
Yeah,
use
it's
your
great.
points, and it keeps track of your
definitely.
points.
There you go. There's your plug. So anyway, tell me what you guys thought of Doctor Sleep. If you're big Shining fans, and what you thought your comparisons was. Obviously,
Yeah, if you're on the fence and you thought that this might be cheesy,
It's
part
not.
2, it's not. It's almost
They
like
did
an
it well.
entirely
it's a
different
title,
story.
but they keep banging it back, which
Yes,
makes
it
which
does.
makes
It does.
What
So
makes it what helps it. It's not like a
pleasant
direct
surprise.
sequel, but it's got its own story to it,
Yes.
which is great. So leave me some comments, share this, and obviously keep subscribing to my channel. And we'll see you on the next movie review in Zetro's Toxic Vault.